Okay, this is Chuck Conkle from CIS180. This is a week 2 session with Periscope. There is a link in the title for you to click on and go to on a web browser. It's apps.nearpod.com, and when you go there, it asks for a PIN. And the pin is ZLJQN. ZLJQN. It'll ask you to put in your student name. If you could do that, that would be great. And then we'll get started. And you'll type in the title, it says CIS 180 Q&A week 2. Go to app.nearpod.com. Looks like the period's missing in the between nearpod.com. It should be app.nearpod.com. It'll ask to put a PIN in, and the PIN number for the room is ZLJQN, and you can access this from any web browser. So if you're watching Periscope from your phone or iPad, you can go to your computer to type in app.nearpod.com and type in the PIN ZLJQN, and it will ask for your first and last name. As soon as I see some folks attend or join in the Nearpod, we'll get started. While you're getting joined in to app.nearpod.com, let's go ahead and get started with talking about week 2. Week 2 is going over chapter 1 in the book, and you're creating your very first assignment using the text. Your very first quizzes this week, and so a couple of firsts this week. Hopefully by now you've had time to get Visual Studio Community 2015 edition installed, along with carving out 5 to 6 hours a week in your schedule to program for the course. There was a few links on the course that was not pointed to the right location. Those have been fixed. The Periscope link, Periscope Q&A sessions, is now pointing to the correct page, which has on there all the different periscopes. I'll show you what the page looks like. So it looks like this right here. And so after tonight's session, week 2 will be in there. Week 1's in there right now. And I'm using an app called Nearpod for a slideshow for Periscope. And Vanita looks like she's on. And again, all you need to do is go from any computer you're near, just go to app.nearpod.com, and you'll put in the PIN number ZLJQN, and it's going to ask for your first and last name. You'll submit your first and last name like Vanita did, and then we'll get started. It's just a way to a slideshow while we're doing Periscope to follow along. There's a few slides in there, also a couple polls as well to get started. So I'll wait another minute here. Hope everyone's week is going well. If everything's going good for you so far in the course, if you could tap the screen, it'll give hearts on the screen basically, so I know everything's going okay for you. If you have any questions, you can type them at the bottom of Periscope. And to tap the screen, it's over on the right side over here, right down over this area. Actually, if I can find it, right over there. If you tap there, it'll give hearts on the screen. Let's see what we have on. All right, so we got 2 or 3 that's actually on. So I'm going to go and get started on the Nearpod for those of you that joined the Nearpod. You should, those that joined, which I had 3 viewers join Nearpod, you should see a slide on there for week 2. If you do see a week 2 slide on your monitor, if you could just type in yes in the comment below, or tap the screen, tap hearts on the screen. That way I can see that you're in, that you can see the week 2 slide. It should have a black background with some white text. Basically, the slide just says first quiz and also first assignment from the textbook. And I'm going to go to the next slide, which you should see now on your screen. Those of you viewing the Nearpod. It says, did you get Visual Studio Community 2015 installed? And you're going to click on the A or B. A for yes, B for no. So go ahead and click on that and submit. There should be a submit button below on the bottom right corner of the web browser. I've been pretty impressed with the software thus far and the update of the software. The navigation is fairly simple getting around. The version we used last semester was 2010, and so it was a pretty big jump from 2010, 2015. But the interface, as far as the code interface for Visual Studio, hasn't changed much, so that's a good thing. So if you've not gotten Visual Studio Community 2015 edition installed, I would definitely do so this week. I will quickly show you from our course in week 1, actually. I'll swing here so you can see it. We go into week 1, getting started. There is a link here, right here, on the Getting Started for Week 1 on how to download the download link to get started. And I suggest doing it off campus. You will need a Windows computer. What I mean by Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. Once you get to that link, you'll download the Community 2015 edition. Select Run when it prompts you. Accept all the defaults to install it. You will need to sign up for a Microsoft account. I suggest using a personal email, not your Rock Valley College email, so you can continue to use it post-course. You'll also be asked to configure a OneDrive account, which is basically like a cloud account for Microsoft. And then finally, you'll log into with your Microsoft account to access Visual Studio. The development language setting you'll need to select is Visual Basic. Choose whatever color theme you want, and then you'll click the Start button. This can take a while to install. So if you've not yet installed that, it takes about 30-45 minutes to install on a fast internet connection at home. So I'm going to go next on your slide, those of you that are using Nearpod. Those of you that are not on the Nearpod link, the app.nearpod.com, I will make available post-Periscope session here tonight, and you can answer the questions then. The next slide here is, did you carve out 5 to 6 hours of pro? Basically, it's real important to carve out some time to program. Time you're not going to be able to get your programming done. So it's real vital to carve out your schedule, some time to program. Granted, the first, each week is definitely manageable once you get started. I would say anywhere from 2 to 4 hours from your reading to your assignment to your quiz for the entire class. But to get started, I always tell students to start with at least 5 to 6 hours so you can, and then you can adjust accordingly as the semester goes on. So that was all the questions for the Nearpod, and I'll be using the Nearpod each week. I'll add definitely more slides next week. I just want to kind of play with it this week. If you like Nearpod, if it's fairly intuitive, if you could tap the screen here so I can know that you like it, that'd be awesome. And it's just some way to for you to view a Periscope session, but the same way see some slides as we're going along. And so if you could tap the screen or just say, I like it, however you want to do it, that'd be awesome. All right, I'm going to go and continue on with week 2 and talk about a little bit. Week 2 is going over, again, your very first chapter, chapter 1. Make sure and do your reading in chapter 1. The course success that each week talks about doing your reading first and doing the examples in the book before attempting any quizzes, discussion, or programming assignments. Also watch podcasts that are available inside of each one of the weeks, because I usually go over an overview of the content of that assignment for that week and the solution for that assignment. Make sure also and download the program I give you inside of each week's assignment. In fact, I'll show you an example here of just that. So here is week 1, or week 2 has a podcast already out there. And then the reading PDF for chapter 1. Quiz. And the assignment. So this week's assignment is completing the case project, Castle's Ice Cream Parlor, on pages 96-97. This program is created from scratch and there's no solution to start with. I do give each week extra credit. If you want to do extra credit for creativity, you can add different colors, readability, formatting, pictures. As it notes here in bold and underline, please add in a message when you submit it what you added for extra credit. Here's a podcast for week 2 assignment. I suggest, again, as it says in the course success module, if you do your reading first, then do your discussion questions, and then your quiz. Then finally, lastly, do your assignment. You should be ready for it. There is, like every week, under resources, how to package and send the assignments. I'll click on that to show you. So on the packaging and sending assignment, you complete the project. You declare some notes in the main form. And make sure your project is closed in VB.net. Then you will right-click on the folder that contains your project, compress it together, and then rename it to week whatever.zip. So this week will be week2.zip, and then submit it. And then other helps I have in there is course success. If you've not yet downloaded the data files for the chapter, do so there. I'll make a note on the data files. Since we're using Community Edition 2015, there will be solutions if they're from the data files you download in the book that will need to be upgraded or converted into 2015. Just go ahead and allow that conversion to happen. It'll just say when you open up the file, the .sln file, to upgrade it, and you'll just accept it. And then finally, the solution modules to all the assignments. I'll click on that. And in the solutions for the semester, I'll click on this link, and it should take me to a Dropbox page, which you'll see all of the solutions, including week 2 that we're doing this week, on the Castle solution. So you'll download that zip file, extract it, open it up. All of the solution files have already been converted to 2015. And all the conversion process is it'll prompt when you do open an older version of Visual Studio, just creating an older version, it'll just say, hey, you need to convert this to 2015, and you'll accept it. But I did convert all of the solution files already. So it might be wise to download the Castle solution, uncompress it, run it on your Visual Studio application. And inside that zip file, once you compress it, is a .sln file. That's the one that you need to open for Visual Studio Community Edition 2015. So that is the assignment, which is a Castle ice cream. Next is a discussion. What do you think is important? Why do you think it's important to visualize what your program should look like and function before creating it in Visual Studio? And so just honestly put your reasoning behind it. It's subjective in nature for sure. So all your weekly discussion questions will generally be subjective over the course content. So that covers week 2. Is there any questions for week 2 assignments, or any questions I can answer that I didn't answer for you on week 2? If you want to type them below here, that would be great. Otherwise, you can email me, as always. And looks like we had Greg join us today, Vanita, Carissa, and Timothy, and a couple of viewers on the web. And again, next week I will be using the Nearpod in addition to Periscope, and I'll put the Nearpod URL in the description like I did today. So the Nearpod description that's here today, boom, that looks scary, for our course. And when you type in that app.nearpod.com, it'll ask you for a pin, and I'll give the pin each week as well for you. And all they'll have basically from next week and on the Nearpod is slides mainly. There will be some times I'll put in there some polls just to keep things interesting. But thanks for everybody for joining. I will send everybody a link to this scope once it's ended. And so appreciate the viewers that connected, and I will see everybody next week. All right, bye-bye.